And just in case you didn't know, her hair is a glory unto her. Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome. Today, we're going to be getting right into this super convenient half crochet, half traditional box braid hairstyle. So what this does is going to save us a lot of time. Instead of doing the full head and box braids, we have the crochet in the back, and then we're going to do the regular box braids in the front, and it's going to give an illusion that she has a full head of box braids. And as you can see here, it gave super clean results, okay? We really enjoyed the outcome. And like I said, this is very convenient when you don't have the time to sit for hours. So let's get right into it. So I'm starting off with the hair. We're using a 34-inch pre-box braid hair, and this is by Glance. It's the extra long braid pre-stretched box braid, okay? And we're using the color number 2 and also the color 350. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to part her hair straight across from ear to ear. This is going to separate the actual individuals from the crochets. All right, so we're just going to section that off. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do like a zigzag, or you can do a beehive. You could even do straight backs if you wanted to, but you just want to get some type of cornrows in there so that you could attach the crochet braids onto. And I'm just going to be braiding her natural hair. But if you needed to add any braiding hair, feel free to do so. Just kind of go according to the client's head. All right. And I'm, like I said, doing a zigzag design. So I'm just parting off that next section so that I can pick up where I left off and continue to braid on. And I'm just going to continue this all the way until I reach the back of her neck or the nape. And let me add, you want to do about a medium-sized braid. You don't want the braid to be too small, because the smaller you do the braid, the more crochet braids you'll need to add. And we don't want the back too full because it won't match up with the front. Yay, so we've reached the end of the first step. So now I'm going to move on to attaching the end of the braid using a needle and thread. You could use the crochet needle if you're comfortable with that, but you just want to make sure that's nice and secure. So moving on to the crochet braids, I'm just releasing them from the pack, unpackaging everything, and I'm going to give y'all a up close on how this hair actually look. So she did want a peekaboo color at the back, and that's where we're going to add in that 350 color. And as you can see, the hair has the pre-looped, and I'm using the crochet needle, and I'm just going to stick that needle right in between the first cornrow. And once I got that through, I'm going to loop on one of the crochet braids, and I'm going to close the latch. Once I did that, I just pulled it through, and then I'm going to take the end of the braid, put it in between the crochet needle, close the latch, and I'm going to pull that through. This is going to create a knot, okay? I tighten it up and you'll see that knot form. And don't worry, I'll do this from quite a few angles so that you can get a more detailed visual on how I attach the braids. But you can see here, it is looking great, y'all. All right, I was getting super excited. You know, when them first couple of braids come out good, you know that the style is gonna eat. So again, I stuck the crochet needle in. This time I stuck the needle in an upward position versus the downward. And I found out that the braid didn't lay as flat at the base when I did it this way. So I reverted back to sticking the crochet needle in a downward position. And as you can see, I'm kind of messing with it here because I'm realizing that, hey, this isn't laying flat like the first one did. All right, and y'all, when you're doing hair, it's about trial and error, okay? So again, I just stuck the crochet needle in. I looped it, I closed the loop. Once I got the braid through about halfway, I looped the end of the braid and looped that back through. And then I pull everything tight. Let's see if we can go over that again. I'm just going to stick that crochet needle in. And right at the loop of the braid, I'm going to stick it in. I'm going to close it, pull the braid about halfway through, then take the end of the braid and then loop that through. And then I'm going to pull on it. So if you have to, just take the video back and just continue to watch what I did, okay? You learn by visual as well, not just by what I'm saying. Just actually look at what I'm doing, and then you'll get a good idea of how to attach those braids. And my main goal while doing these videos is for you to be able to learn. And I'm trying to teach, so I want these to be as detailed as possible. So if you have any questions or any parts where you were confused and you didn't really understand, feel free to comment in the comment section and answer your questions. I'll get back with you. So if you haven't noticed, when I pull the crochet braid through, it is actually looping through that pre-loop on the braid. Okay, remember when I first got started, I showed you the braids, and it has this little loop in the front. So when I take that end of the braid, I'm pulling it through that loop, and then I pull it tight. And I just continued this until I got to the very top of this section. And here we are, it's completely finished. I did put the black right on top of that color. And now we're just going to start to do our traditional box braid, okay? So hopefully you know how to do a traditional box braid. If not, I hope I can kind of give you an idea on how to become a beginner at it. All right, so I'm just sectioning off the first braid. And as you can see, I have my braiding hair in hand. And you want to have that already pre-sectioned on some type of braiding rack or so call it if you have. And I'm just going to start braiding. And she wanted the traditional box braid, okay? So this is going to have a knot. All right, we know the new school girlies, we got the knotless braids, but she wanted hers the old school way. So I'm doing hers with the knot. I just took my braiding hair and I divided that into 3 sections. And then I just started to braid like a traditional plait. And even though I am doing the traditional knot at the base of the braid, I am still using the feed in method. So I am taking small pieces of hair and I'm gradually feeding that into the braid just to thicken it up to my likeness. And I'm just going to continue to braid on like a regular 3-strand plait. I didn't have a specific amount of hair that I add into each braid. I'm the type that goes with the flow, okay? So if you want to kind of count how many pieces you add just to make sure all the braids are even, I just kind of eyeball it. And you want to make sure that, you know, it's as close in size as the actual crochet box braids, okay? Because we're trying to give it an illusion that it's a full head. So be sure to make everything match up. And that goes as far as the length as well. You want to make sure that the braid that you're braiding is just about the same length as the actual crochet braid. And these braids, like you seen in the beginning, were pretty long. So I did have to continue to add the hair just so I can make sure I got that same length. So I finished my first braid, all right, and I'm showing you here how it blends in with the other braids. I'm just doing like a side-by-side comparison. I think I did pretty decent. Of course, as you continue to braid on, you can kind of get a better idea of, you know, sizing and everything. So here's that up close. I'm just taking the braiding hair and I cross it just like a cross, and I'm going to make it into 3 sections. All right, so once you cross it, you're going to bring 2 of those strands together. All right, and leave the other 2 loose. It should make 3. All right, and then you're going to take your section of the client's hair and you're going to grab it up. You can section it off into 3 sections as well if that's easier, or you can just grab it as you braid. All right. And this is for people who know how to do a basic plait, okay? I was just showing you all how I achieved the style. It's not really a tutorial on showing you how to braid. So, you know, you will want to know how to do a basic plait in order to kind of achieve this style. And I have to get back with y'all on basic videos on how to do, you know, a regular 3-strand plait. And now I show you a more up close on how I'm adding in that hair. You'll see I take the braiding hair and right in that middle strand and that very right strand, you just want to add the hair folded in half to each of those strands and continue to braid on. And as I'm braiding, I'm using gel or jam just to smooth out the client's hair and make sure it's blending in well with the braiding hair. And if you are new to trying this style, don't beat yourself up, okay? Take your time and give yourself room. Give yourself grace. Practice makes improvement, so continue to work at it and you'll get it. You'll get results like this. All right, so this came out super well, y'all. And please don't mind the background. We had a lot going on this day, but nevertheless, we gave the client what she requested. And let me add, be mindful of your part and size, because we did feel like we should have gone in with a smaller part at the front. But it still turned out super cute, and we were both satisfied with the results. I just dipped the ends of her hair just to help them blend in with the pre-braided hair. As you can see, everything looks great, and I do appreciate all the support. Y'all, bless y'all for watching my videos. I hope you all were able to get some type of information or inspiration. Please consider subscribing, and bless you for watching.